England are on the brink of another heavy defeat and a series loss against Australia. England began the day pretty well as they took the last 6 Australian wickets for just 38 runs, leaving them with a target of 435 for an unlikely victory. But it was a familiar story with the bat for England. Zak Crawley made 85, but 3 wickets in 6 overs leave England facing another heavy defeat and a series loss. It is stumps in Adelaide, and I'm delighted to say we can now cross to former England captain Nasser Hussain, who is there for us. Good to see you, Nas. If I'd been speaking to you an hour ago, I would have said that was objectively a good day's cricket for England. But those 3 wickets in that last hour have just put a completely different spin on things.
To be honest, especially up front today when they got the last 6 Australian wickets for 38 runs on what is still a pretty flat pitch. And then with the bat, they really knuckled down. Zak Crawley in particular played really well, and they showed a bit of grit and fought as hard as they could. But towards the end there, Nathan Lyon just showed why he's such a world-class spinner and how much of a threat he is. England had played his first 10 overs or so really well. They'd swept and reverse swept him. But then he came back in that last hour, and the ball to get Stokes was an absolute peach. So for me, it was just a little bit too little, too late, and England will actually look back. They've been playing catch-up cricket now for a couple of days since, on a very flat pitch, being 8 for 160, batting first. That's where, if they go on lose this game, which looks likely, that's where it was lost.
As you say, they did really show some fight with the bat today, Nasser, but that familiar pattern emerging of lose 1 wicket and they lose a hole in a cluster. Yet Nathan Lyon was fantastic. But why is that the case, that 1 wicket always brings 3 or 4?
Well, it's just cricket. It does happen a lot. You lose 1 and then you're under pressure. The crowd gets involved, especially here in Australia. They have a world-class bowling attack. It just starting against spin is never easy. When you're in against spin, try and grind it out because you know the next batter. It's the biggest cliche in cricket. Always add 2 wickets to the scoreboard and it looks completely different. And that's exactly what happened today. Nathan Lyon gets 1 and then Stokes comes in, and Lyon's got a fantastic record against Stoke, being a left-hander with some rough on a day 4 Adelaide pitch. Lyon bowled him with a beauty. So it is just the way, if you're in, make sure you grind out a score and go big. And unfortunately for England on this tour, they've not done that. And when they have lost 1, and as I say, the pressure builds, 2 or 3 come very quickly after that.
Nasser, we have to talk about that Harry Brook dismissal, which seemed to be the catalyst for the other 2 that followed. Out to that reverse sweep, with England going along quite nicely at 177 for 3. As a former England captain, with a player as talented as Harry Brook, would you be taking him to one side and saying, look, just have more awareness of the game situation? That shot did not need to be played.
Not specifically about that shot. I think on this tour, I think Harry himself, before this test match, has said he's played 2 or 3 awful shots, which hints the fact that he does need a bit more game awareness. Specifically to that shot today, Nathan Lyon had been played really well by England by sweeping him, by reverse sweeping him. Zak Crawley reverse swept him. They all swept him hard. Harry Brook was reverse sweeping him a lot and getting boundaries, and it just put Nathan Lyon off his length. The only thing I'd say to Harry Brook is not about the game awareness, was the fact that you continued to play the shot virtually every ball. If you look at Zak Crawley, Zak would sweep, hard sweep, reverse sweep, hit down the ground, and Nathan Lyon couldn't settle. The moment Nathan Lyon knew that Harry Brook was reverse sweeping every ball, he went slower, he went a little bit straighter, and that's what deceived Harry Brook. So mix it up. It's one of your shots. You've got a lot of runs with it. England have played Lyon well by sweeping and reverse sweeping, but don't get predictable. Knock him in a gap and make him think that you've changed your plan a bit.
Another low score from Ollie Pope. Is he on borrowed time now? Do you expect to see him in Melbourne?
I can't see him batting at number 3 in Melbourne, to be honest. His career and his series follow a very similar pattern. He starts well, he started the tour game well. He got runs in the first innings, first test, and then slowly he just gets the same way, outside off stump. I mean, it was a magnificent catch from Marnus Labuschagne. When you're up against it and you're trying to play for your place in the side, they're the sort of ones that get caught. But he looks vulnerable outside the off stump. You want the number 3 to settle your dressing room. That's what great number 3s do. They settle, they calm the situation down. Think Jonathan Trott, a great England number 3 who just soaks up pressure. On this tour, when he's been batting Ollie Pope, England and he look vulnerable up front. So I personally would now say I'd make the change away from Ollie Pope. Jacob Bethel, who's been here, who's been in and around the England side for quite some time, I think he should probably come in at Melbourne.
Nasser, barring a miracle, the Ashes are gone. They're going to be wrapped up inside 11 days. With the momentum now, with Australian tails up, can you see anything other than a 5-0 series win?
I don't know about that. I mean, it is, as I know, as various captains out here know, once you lose, once it starts going in the wrong direction in Australia, all this crowd leaving behind me, they get behind a nation and it becomes very difficult. And it's very difficult to stop that momentum of the opposition. They're going next to the MCG. Scott Boland has a magnificent record there. It might nip around there. So it's up to the players to stop that momentum. If it goes and they lose the Ashes tomorrow, which looks likely, you're going to have to pick yourself up. You're going to have to think of all the people that are flying out to the MCG and the SCG for Boxing Day and New Year's test matches, hard-earned money saved. You think of people back at home waking up at 3 a.m. trying to follow this side. You're playing, you're playing for your country and you keep going right till the end. Even tomorrow you keep going right to the end.
Nasser, the inevitable post-mortem will begin soon, no doubt. You know how those things work. But I remember at the end of the India series this summer just feeling so excited about this Ashes series, and it feels like such a missed opportunity for England, given this isn't one of the great Australia sides.
No, it is a missed opportunity, but history tells you that coming here as an England side, it's so difficult to win out here. Just look at the statistics. I mean, the 2010-11 was the anomaly. Either side of that, England have struggled. It's not been like it's been in England where it's been close. It's not been close here at all. But it will feel like a missed opportunity simply because of the players Australia have had missing. They've had Hazelwood ruled out the whole series, did not bowl a ball. Cummins didn't play in the first 2 test matches. Lyon left out at Brisbane. Steve Smith not playing here. They are some of the greats of the game, and they've not been playing in this series, and it still looks likely that Australia will go 3-0 up tomorrow. So yes, a missed opportunity, but history tells you this is a difficult place to win for an England side.